Everyone holding, and here we are. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're good.
I've got a question that's been bothering me for a while, and it kind of ties into two previous callers. Their calls were unrelated, but this kind of ties them both together.
All right.
I too am a big Kate Bush fan. I think she's a genius. Doesn't get enough credit.
Don't put out enough albums.
Yeah, that's true. When's she going to put out another album?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
10 years now.
yeah. I'm an atheist, and I'm also a songwriter slash musician, and I have a lot of writer's block all the time. You know, there's a lot of times that I'm just not inspired. You know, and it frustrates me. And it kind of ties into the previous caller who, with his analogy of the bear in the woods, or what he thought was a bear, and how. When you believe something, even if it's false, it can motivate you to do things you otherwise wouldn't be able to do.
That's true.
And I've noticed that, like Kate Bush, almost all the great music that just really, blows me away, and just the kind of music that gives you goosebumps, it's so good. It's almost always by people who are spiritually motivated, who have strong spiritual beliefs. And other than, I can think of Frank Zappa, but other than that, I can think of any atheist musicians that are of note, and it kind of makes you wonder. So I'm asking you guys what your thoughts on that are. Does spiritual motivation help the creative process? Does it? Because
I've seen no reason why it wouldn't.
It's a more fertile imagination.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't see that it.
So conversely, do you think atheism restricts the creative process?
Well, no, I don't. I don't know that it. I'm an artist myself, so I don't think that I've ever been. But then I take my artistic motivations from other things. I guess you haven't really gotten that many atheists, that many atheist rocks. There are some rock stars doing rock and roll about atheism. I don't know. Maybe that's not quite the thing that motivates them. Maybe when you have gotten that kind of thing, it tends to be sort of just the evil twin brother of most Christian rock, which is just rock music that attacks religion, and there's not a whole lot that's original to it. I think that great artists. I think that if you take the whole mass of everyone, the truly great artists are few and far between, no matter what, right? And so the fact that many of them seem to be religiously and spiritually inspired and motivated isn't all that unusual, because remember that religion and spiritual beliefs and belief in God and Jesus and in heaven and what have you has been at the core of, I think, human culture for a couple of centuries, and then the Romans and Greeks before them created all those wonderful myths and legends and epics about their beliefs. So the fact that it's so deeply rooted in our culture, it doesn't surprise me that you would get a lot of very strong religiously motivated art. I can think of again, good musicians there's like XTC, people like that.
True. I didn't think about them. I'm a big fan of them as well.
Yeah, Trent Reznor to a certain extent. Gary Newman, people like that. There's a lot of people in sort of like the gothic industrial realm, but that stuff isn't all that chart topping stuff exactly. Maybe there are just fewer of them for the same reason that there are just fewer atheists in population totality. You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe the number of atheist rock stars who are openly atheist and who make atheist rock is proportional to the actual people out there who would buy their albums.
Plus, one of the tenets of belief in Christianity especially is to go out and proselytize and tell other people, the word.
That's a good point.
And so if you have a means of doing it through, your living, your music, well then, eventually you may very well take advantage of that opportunity.
Don't get me wrong. Most of the Christian rock, so to speak, actually sucks pretty bad. I'm talking about artists who don't necessarily proselytize in their music, but however are spiritually motivated and have spiritual beliefs. Your U2s, your Van Morrisons, people like that.
Yeah.
And
John
the list
Coltrane.
goes on and on. John Coltrane.
John Coltrane was a great buffet spiritualist. He did like a Love Supreme, which was his like sort of Christian masterpiece. And then he abandoned that, and we went on an acid kick and did all these albums while he was tripping.
Oh yeah, I've heard them.
And it's all amazing. So I guess it's whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I think that artists, though, when you think about it, in general, right? Because you're a musician. I'm an illustrator, filmmaker. That artists tend to be people who want to look deeper into stuff, right? I mean, you tend to and because you're imaginative, you look at a situation and then your imagination takes off, and you can say, well, what if there were all these other levels to things? And so there's imagination plays into a lot of part of it. And I don't know that I would describe it as any sort of is it some kind of deep-seated psychological need we have? I don't know that I would. I think maybe it's just an interest. I think that it's just, it's people who have fertile imaginations wanting to exercise them as much as possible. Then the difference is, though, recognizing the difference between that, that which is imagination and that which is, difference between fantasy and reality. You can keep a good handle on that and still have an appreciation of imagination, I think.
All right, well, that's pretty much all I wanted to ask you guys about. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. So take care and write some good atheist rock and roll.
And I'm gonna try and be there next Sunday. I'm just not too much of a morning person.
Oh well, me neither. I'm never there on Sunday. So yeah. If I showed up on Sunday morning, I think the entire ACA would keel over dead of heart attacks. And that'd be it.
Hey, Martin.
That'd be it for us. So anyway, thanks a lot for your call. Take care. Yeah.
And in contrast, I'm always there.
Yeah. That's why you get things done on this show. Anyway, that's interesting. Yeah, a reminder from our staff here that John Lennon, another godless rocker, as it were. Okay. See, but that's interesting, right? I'm glad it's interesting that he brought that topic up, because what is it that so many Christians say about rock music and how it's evil and demonic and sinful and nasty? But I think we point out a lot of much of the most popular art, whether it's rock music or pop or paintings or poetry or what have you, is in fact motivated by a person's, whatever their upbringing is, their philosophical views on life, spirituality, religion. So, but it's kind of funny, So it's some Christians are like, no, rock music is from the hindquarters of Satan and it's bad. Okay, last call today will be Scott, I think. Well, maybe not. We'll see what comes on. Hey, you're on the air.
How's it going, boys?
We're just having a fun, laid-back day.
Yeah, I can see that. I'd say I'm a Christian. I've been with God for a while, and me and my friend were actually talking about last night of our beliefs in God and everything. And I went to a party not too long ago, and I was talking to people about God, and there's this one girl that was like, I was born an atheist. Prove to me there is a God. I was like, there's no way I can prove you there's a God, but I can give you like points of like, why